exactly. Almost, yeah. $60 or 150. I'll do it in meters. 1.5 meters multiplied by 28. I don't know. I'll need a calculator. So, oh no, it's just half that. So 114. So 28. 42. Why did that take so long? Jesus Christ. So multiply by 3. I have 126 meters to play with in this. Nice. But first, these need a little wash because they haven't been soaked yet. So I need to wash them. These also need a little block, but because they're blue, I'm not going to put them in with these because the blue is definitely going to run. Is that you, Beans? Hello. You made me show them the dirty part of my kitchen. Oh, he does not care. Anyway. So I'm just going to pop these in, but I'm going to just take them out of their little thingies. Just to let them, oh. Right then, I guess I won't. Look, there's none of that, damn it. I was trying to do a satisfying sploosh for you. Nope, I guess there's no satisfying sploosh. Really inelegant. I'll just do a kind of a, huh? No. Sorry, he was just meowing. Here we go. I'm filming very satisfying splooshes that are not working out. Oh, this one is far too wiggledy, James. How dare it! I just want to keep them around. Okay. That's a little bit of a satisfying sploosh. Okay, down's my collars. That's that. Now, and these are my little mittens in a separate bath. I'm just wondering about that purple mixing with the white, but sure, look, it'll end up together anyway once it's knitted together, so. Oh, listen to that. Bubbly goodness. Yeah. It's just so mean, Mr. Beans. Who's this? Is this your friend? Setting up for background kitty. Hi. Will you stay there for the podcast? That would be real cute if you did. This one needs a bit more snapping because it's a little more wiggly. Snap, snap, snap-a-lappin'. And this one, oh my God, which I just dropped, which was a terrible mistake. No, yes, I only have one tie on these ones. Risky. Risky. This is my favorite bit. I don't even know why I do that. I just like it. I used to do it to get the water out, but now that I have the spin dryer, it was only in there for 2 minutes. I don't really need to do that anymore. But it brings me joy. So I do it. Snap, snap. And that's like, I'll just hang them up now. I won't put any weight on them. There's still a bit of a curl to them, but very grand. Come along. Should we do a podcast, host? Can we do a podcast? Are you coming with me? Okay, so, all right. Let's do it. Oh, you got a bed instead. Yeah, you're not gonna do a podcast with me? Oh, okay. Pretty, pretty. Oh, no, excuse me, Beans, that's my water. It's my water for my podcasting voice. For the voice. You just desperately want some, don't you? Look at this. He only likes to drink from other people's glasses. You're such a freak. I'm trying to get him into that box. Look at that box, Beans. Oh yeah. It looks like a really nice box, doesn't it? Maybe if I put the glass of water beside the box. Oh no, I'll just go for the glass of water. It's his now, I guess. He wants to spill it all over. Why am I like this? It's just so cute. Oh. I can't stop now. This is why I'm dehydrated. I can't leave a glass of water around because he'll just like put his paw into it and be like, I want some. And then spit it everywhere and then leave. He'll drink it when I'm holding it. There are 17 bowls of water around this house that I literally refill every single day. Only this. My glass of water. Isn't that right, Beans? And he will drink this whole thing. I have to tilt it. I'll have to tilt it in a minute once he goes down far enough. No, this is not happening. Mr. Beans, stop it now. I guess I don't deserve water. I'll have a dry, croaky podcasting voice. Is that what you want, Mr. Beans? That's what he wants. Anyway, hello. 2 minutes, 48 seconds of Beans being a pooperhead. Hello, welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns. This is a little podcast about knitting and spinning and weaving sometimes. This particular podcast is going to be mostly about spinning and knitting with my hand spun, because those are the projects that I have currently on the go. Also, it's part of the Fluff to Stuff 2021 kind of make along that we are doing, myself and 2 other podcasters, Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast and Marce from Hey Brownberry podcast. So we are currently, actually today, we are having the monthly Zoom, the monthly meeting, and we've a special guest, which is going to be Marce. It was me last week, and you can find my video on the interview of my spinning journey, how I started on the Fluff to Stuff YouTube channel. So, hi Beans, are you back? Yeah, so Marce's is going to be up there now this, hopefully this coming week as well. So if you didn't get tickets, you can still join in. Oh, excuse me, sir. Those fibres are quite nice, and I would like you not to eat them, please. Please? He loves them. Oh, Beans, no. Oh, Beans, no. No, danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Okay. He loves the yarns, and he loves handspun. He loves fibre. And he's mad that I've stopped him. I'll be mad at you now if you destroy my beautiful yarns. Oh. Ugh, sick of you too, Mr. Beans. Right. My baby. I was trying to like lure him in with the box and the yarns, and it turned dangerous. Risky business. I know. It's my own fault. I know. So, I've lost track of myself. What was I talking about? Oh, yes, the Fluff to Stuff. So, we are having it's a spin and make along, so you can weave or knit or embroider or crochet or whatever, as long as you're using handspun. You don't have to have handspun the thing yourself. You can actually just buy handspun if you want, or if you were gifted handspun, you just use handspun. It's kind of just to encourage us to actually use the beautiful yarns that we do make. And yeah, so we have some giveaways. I think we're having, it's kind of turning into like giveaways every month, every monthly meeting, but we were planning on having large giveaways every 3 months. Hello, sir, are you back? Oh. A box. Yes. These are a little bit wet actually, so I need to get those a little. He's in a zoomy mood. Just pop that there. Just pretend. I'm just going to be watching him the whole time. You got to watch him as well. Could you just watch me and let me know if he's being a little poopy head? Right, so the make along you can join anytime, and we have these monthly Zoom meetings which are so much fun. They cost about €4 per ticket, and it's just to cover postage on prizes and the upkeep of the Zoom room and some stuff that we have going on, but none of us are making any money out of it. Any money that is going to be made, if we have any profit after the event is finished in January time, like January 2022, after we've posted out all the prizes, if there's any money left, then we want to donate it between the two of us, or between the three of us, for all the different charities that we want to do. So yeah, so none of us are making any money out of the event, so all your money is going towards prizes and then charity at the end. So yay. So hello. What have I been doing this last week? Literally, I have only been finishing these mittens. I spun these. He's the center of the show now, but that's okay because you're cute. Oh no, I'm scared. Right, so I hand spun this. I think this is actually John Urban Viola, and it's 100% merino. Maybe. I think there's silk in it as well though, but anyway, it might be Viola, the North Sea colorway. It's a blue, it's stunning, it's beautiful. So I wanted to actually take part in the Mitt Along by Marce, actually, Hey Brownberry, and the Earth Tones Girl. And I wanted something quick and satisfying, and this did the job. Now, I started off using a pattern by Tin Can Knits, called The World's Simplest Mittens. And instead of doing like the thumb and closing it, instead of doing the fingers and closing the top of the fingers, I just left them open. I redid the thumb from last week on a Zoom chat with the lads, and I brought them down a little bit, but my thumb is always cold, so we just need the tip. And then my other fingers so I can like tuck them in if it's really cold when I'm walking to work. I love them. They're wet at the moment because I just soaked them. You'll have seen that in the little opening section. So I didn't end up pulling back. Excuse me, sir. Why? What has gotten into you? Listen, go back in your box. Get back in your box now. Stay there. Jesus Christ. So I have this other skein, so I think I'm going to make a matching hat or maybe a cowl. I think that'd be nice. Matching hat. It's lovely. It's like merino and there's silk. I think there's silk in there. It could just be undyed white because the viola is 100% merino. I'm not sure. So anyway, that's my current finished object and potential other project. I knit that on creepers. I knit that on these, I think they're Knit Pro somethings, and they're 4mm. And I think I bought these in Tasmania. In a shop in Tasmania. I'm still on the hunt for needles. I was trying to buy size like 5mm needle or 5.5 or 6mm or 6.5, like the larger sizes. But they're out of stock in loads of places. So I'll just have to wait, I guess. Right, so the next project that I've just been working on, and Beans has been trying to eat, sir. Oh, don't you give me that dirty look now. Right. So these are, I've just washed them actually. So these are a little set of minis that were sent to me to sample from the John Urban Alpaca, what's it called? Dulux Alpaca range. Ooh. Alpaca Supreme, that's it, Alpaca Supreme range. And they are such beautiful colors. So I kind of wanted to go for pinks. So this is the Morganite color. This is Pearl. And this is Lolite. So they're all based on precious jewels and minerals. And they're absolutely, look at this purple, is so pretty. Look at all those different colors. So nice. So I wanted to make, I thought I wouldn't have had enough for like a proper hat or a cowl, but it turns out I think I do. So you'll have seen me calculating how much I have. So it turns out I have about 42 meters in each color and 126 meters in total. And the total weight was, so 59 grams in one, 59, 67, 60. So about like 170 grams, 126 meters. So it's a kind of a chunky weight. It's heavier than an Aran, I think. Yeah, so a nice chunky, I mean, I think a cowl would probably be the best, but I kind of wanted, but I might end up doing, I kind of want a headband. But I think I could probably make 2 headbands out of the amount, because I looked up on Ravelry and I just put in my, I had like 0 to 100 meters of chunky wool and it had loads of hat patterns. So I think that's all I need. I don't know. But what I was thinking, I was looking at the patterns and I was like, I want to make these patterns, the patterns that I made. So I might do up a pattern with this. I love this. And because it's all the same, I actually managed to spin around almost exactly the same amount in each skein, even though this Lolite, I got a little bit less in this one. I got 59 grams in this Lolite, in this Morganite color. And then in these two, I got about 66 grams. But I managed to spin this one thinner. I ended up just kind of spinning them randomly all onto one bobbin. I was planning on splitting them into 2 bobbins and then spinning them together into an official 2-ply. Then I got carried away because I was spinning them on zooms and stuff. So I just spun the whole bump onto one bobbin. So then I decided I would 3-ply them all then. So these are chain plied. So they're 3-ply. So they're kind of chunky and lovely. Oh, they smell nice as well. Because I just, I wash them in hair conditioner. It's my favorite way to wash wool. Yes, so I was thinking, I have about the same amount in each color. So I was thinking I might use this pattern, but instead of this color, using the color from this, or maybe, I'm not sure. I might do a headband with that. I think that would be really cute. Probably, and then I'll probably end up doing 2 headbands, and I'll switch around the colors of whatever one I have left. Look. I got a really good question actually from a viewer on Instagram. I just put up a stories, and she said what to do when you didn't spin enough. Like what happens when you end up that you've spun for a project and it turns out you don't have enough, or it's different. First off, I kind of tend to try and make sure that I have spun enough, and you generally do, because it's, I don't know, just always try your best to have enough when you start. But obviously if you have ended up with a project and you're like, oh no, I've just run out. This happened to me with my project, which I've been banging on about for ages, which stalled for ages. And what I ended up doing was I got more fibre, I spun it, and I'm currently working on the sleeves. So if you can see, I ran out of the project. I ran out of the yarn for the sleeves. I didn't have any of this kind of deep blue, deep brown yarn for the sleeves. So I blended up some Rolags and I spun it up. And now I'm knitting away on that. So that's one thing you could do. You could also intersperse commercial yarn. You could try and find a commercial yarn that's quite similar, or a stripe it down by the bottom to make it extend out, or crop it, or do short sleeves or no sleeves, a vest. There's an awful lot of that goes on in my life. There's a lot of silliness that carries on. Oh no, thank you, sir. No, these are mine. You cannot have them. Come in your box. Get in your box and stay there. He's going to dig in his box now. So that's why I was a little bit nervous about doing a hat, because of what if I ran out of the color, if the pattern was like specifically color wise. So I think I'm going to do a headband first, see what I've got left over, and then make a headband out of that, and change around the colors that way, see whatever colors I had left. They're quite wrinkly at the moment, so I do need to hang them up. I mean, that is just cat bait, isn't it? Like, I'm not surprised he can't resist. So I'm just going to hang that on there now. I'm just going to give you a little, just around your waist, that's around your neck now, because it's kind of far away from that beast. So my next project then, my next spinning project, I have just received my ambassador package from Sweet Georgia. So this is a whole bunch of their new spring colors. So I decided, I put up a story on Instagram to see like, what should I get? Should I get the same of one color? What would you get? Like, and then of course, the second I put it up on Instagram, I knew I had to get these ones. Like, it's kind of like that thing where the coin toss works, because while it's up in the air, you're hoping for one side or the other. So if you can't decide, toss a coin, and then when you figure out, you're like, oh, okay, it's tails, but actually I want heads. You should go for heads. Do you know what I mean? You can kind of, if you ask the question, then you'll come around to the answer you actually want, which is what happened here. So I decided to get 3 separate colorways with kind of colors that would blend. So the first one here is Celestial. So it has blues and teals and navies in Polworth. These are all Polworth and silk. So this is Celestial, and they say pre-washing skeins prior to color work is encouraged. So basically when you have it spun up, color. So the blue is probably going to gonna go, what's the word? It's gonna leach. Blue always does, and so does magenta as well. So this next one then has, it's called Aurora. So it has those blues, those navies, those teals, those little lighter green, and then this lovely purple, deep purple. So that is going to be, so this is Aurora, the Aurora colorway. Then this one here, it's so cute. It's called Fairytale, and it's pinks and blues. And I just really like it because it was like a mix between these. So my plan is to make a sweater, cardigan maybe, something like that. But I want, these are all Polworth and silk base, so they're all the same base. But I want to actually control the colours. I want to control the colours in it. And I'm going to use a book by Alana Wilcox, Spinny Buns. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to take all the braids apart and separate them out by colour and spin them by colour, or if I'm going to spin them using a fractal technique, which I used for a previous sweater, which I loved, and that worked really well. I should bring that down actually and show you. What are you doing now? Oh yes, oh okay. Do you know what? You can have that one. A sacrificial. A sacrificial lamb. There you go. I'm watching him. I know he's not allowed to eat. I know a lot of people are going to probably comment being like, watch him out. Don't let him eat the string. I'm like, I know. But he's just an arsehole. He will anyway, no matter what I do. And then I have to pay for surgery because you're such a poopy face. Anyway, sorry, I was just hassling him. Right, so yeah, so I am going to have a little look into researching this. So what I could do is, for the body, I could literally spin, I could separate out strips of each of these. Like say I could split this in half. I need to measure how much yarn goes into a sleeves and how much yarn goes into the body. And then I need to adjust. So if I was going to do stripes, to match the stripes on the sleeves, you need less, because it's smaller circumference on the sleeves and wider circumference on the body. So you need more yarn on the body, more color, more length of color on the body than you do on the sleeves. This is why Alana's better than me, because she's mathematically minded. So I need to look at her book and see what I'm going to do. So because these have quite regular intervals of stripes, I think that could be possible. So if I was to take one of these and split it down the middle, split it down the middle, keep one for the body, and then split the second one into two. That would be a sleeve each, perhaps. Does that make sense? I might need to actually split one, like split it not exactly in half, like one would be thicker and that would be the body, and then the other slightly thinner half would be split in half again, and then those would be for, does that make sense? Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, so if I was to split, I mean, this is not going to be an exact science, but if I was to split something like maybe, yeah, something like that. So that's a little bit thicker. So that'll be for the body. And then if I split that for the sleeves and then split that again and do a 2-ply, spin one, from the front to the back, and then spin them two together, ply them two together. Right? Maintaining the stripes would be really cute. And if I do that for all of them, and then I'd have to organize myself very well. I think I could do it. This is what Fluff to Stuff is kind of about. It's like intentional spinning, and there's such beautiful colors. Like, oh my god. There's a cat around. That's what the scratching is. So, I think this has to be my my little screenshot. But it's like, there's such pretty colors. I love them so much. So yeah. So that's my project really. I got a very special advanced kind of print for a new book that's coming out by Sophie White. She signed it, Sophie. It's called Corpsing, My Body and Other Horror Stories, and it's an autobiography, I think, about her. She gave us a clip actually on the live Zoom on the Creep Dive. There was a reading and it was fascinating. It's just like, right, yeah, anyway, so she did this whole excerpt on when she was pregnant. She had this craving for blood, and it's just stuff that, like, I don't think we're told, you know? But anyway, fascinating, really interesting. So I can't wait for that to come out. But you also get this beautiful cross-stitch design with the first like 400 or 200. I don't know if there's any left actually. There's some available from Kenny's Bookshop, I think, if you pre-order it. But so I'm gonna have a look. I think I have some cross-stitch somewhere in my craft room that I bought once upon a time and then never did. So I think I have some fabric and I have some floss as well. So I think this would be really cute in my signature blues and greens, don't you think? If I have some, I simply must. So, yeah, it's lovely. And it's a little thingy on the back. So I think that's what you put on the back and then you draw through to outline it. I'm not very good at knowing things. So that could be a thing. But I think you could just count across and just count your colors, you know? So I'm very excited about that. Yeah, really cute idea. So I had another couple of questions come through. Some of Helen actually, Helen _McG 21 is a new spinner, and she wanted to know how she could improve her spinning. So Helen, first of all, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm going to be really boring and tell you probably what you don't want to hear, and it literally is just practice. I'm sorry, Helen. It's practice. Just have a go, give it a go every day. It depends on, and it doesn't really depend. I think that literally applies to freaking everything you want to do in life. But like more specific advice, if you're using spindle spinning, I don't really do too much spindle spinning. But when it comes to both spindle and wheel spinning, I have to say understanding your fibre is probably something that is going to help you more than anything else. So understanding what fibre is, what type of fibre you are using, the different types, how they actually spin, how they work, the difference between short staples and long staples. I really recommend a book called The Spinner. Oh, I think it's Deborah Robson, and follow Deborah Robson anyway. I think it's called The Spinner's Handbook or The Fleece to do you know, I had it. And I now don't know where it is. I brought it around to loads of events, and I think it might have been misplaced actually. So sad. It's my, I can't remember the name of it now. I think it's called The Fleece and Fibre Source Book. That's it. Yes, a very, very good book. And just play around with it. I really recommend getting a sampler kit of different types of fibres. So you get like little, like 20 grams of like Shetland, of BFL, of Corriedale, of merino, and like understanding how they feel different when you're spinning them. So merino would be a little bit slippy and quite it tends to spin really fast into your fingers, and it's quite difficult to draft sometimes because it can be quite sticky and fine, really fine. Whereas something like a Shetland is a little bit easier to spin because it doesn't tend to, you can kind of untwist a little bit. It doesn't tend to get stuck. It drafts quite easily because the fibres are a little bit larger, and they slip through a little bit easier because they're not so, they are they are grippy, but they're not that kind of slippy kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's quite difficult to explain. But I really recommend getting one of those sampler kits if you're new and understanding how it works in your own hands, like feeling it in your own hands and seeing how you get on. One of my most common things that I learned from my friend Liz was when you have fibre in your hand, you are to act as if it's a tiny baby bird, a live one, and you want to keep it alive. So it's gently held. So it's not, if I use a little bit of this. So you're holding it gently. You're not gripping it. You don't have sweaty death grip, I call it. Do not kill the baby bird. Just let it just gently sit in your hands, and then the fibre will be able to pull through your fingers. So you're gripping it, and you can increase you can increase your pressure and decrease as you need to, but just remember, you don't want to kill the baby bird. Just gently hold it, gently, and then feed in using the other hand. I really recommend also a class from Craftsy. Crafty's back. Hey. Revolutionary. I wonder actually, is she still there? Actually, JC Boggs Faulkner, the editor of Ply magazine, has had a fantastic class on there called From Woolen to Worsted. Unbelievable, fantastic class. I really recommend that class. And if you are working with colour, Felicia Lowe from Sweet Georgia Yarns has a fantastic craftsy class on there on how to work with colourful braids as well, and how to just generally understand colour theory. I mean, she's a master, so you want to learn from her. There's also the School of Sweet Georgia. I got a pin with my delivery. So the School of Sweet Georgia is it's an absolutely incredible resource for knitters, crocheters, weavers, spinners, dyers. If you're interested in learning how to dye yarn from a master dyer, School of Sweet Georgia is your best bet. There's actually a link down below. It's an affiliate link. And you can get on there and have a look and see what you fancy learning. But she has a masterclass in spinning as well from a couple of different incredibly gifted spinners. I think Rachel from Woolen Spinning, you should definitely follow her as well. She's so skilled, and she's just really able to explain. She also has a Zero to Hero project, which is quite like Fluff to Stuff, but like you pick up, Zero to Hero, you start from the very beginning and then you go all the way through, which is great. So Fluff to Stuff is a little bit more general, a little bit more relaxed. But to be honest, Zero to Hero, I think it's a great project. It's a great, I just love her. And she's really, really thorough as well. So I recommend following all those people if you're new. Just get inspired and just keep going. Practice. Ravenclaw Rachel had an incredible question, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Rachel, you genius. She said, because obviously I've been reading a lot, she said, which fictional character would knit? And I was like, I have thought about this significantly. Number one, McGonagall. I mean, she has to knit just to cope with the stress of dealing with, well, Dumbledore, who is just chaos and has no understanding for student safety. All of the Weasleys and Potters. My God. She literally just needs something to cope, to help her cope. So she definitely knits. And I think I can imagine her and Tonks as well. Her, Tonks and Mrs. Weasley getting together for a knit night and just letting rip on all the men in their lives and all the boys and stupid things. Oh, yes. I want to be at that knit night. It has to be in the Burrow, obviously, when all the kids are gone. They're at school and everyone just congregates around Molly Weasley's giant table and the treats are, that sounds so good. Yes, that's what she does. Then, so I've been reading a lot of Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read the most recent one. Court of Silver Flames. And out of them, I don't think many of them would, but I do think Elaine probably is a knitter. Probably. Maybe Amran. Possibly? Maybe. And then, also, have you seen the Shadow and Bone trailer for Netflix when it's coming out on the 23rd of April? And I've got an alarm on my phone. I can't wait. It's coming out soon, I hope. Is it April or March? I think it's March. Is it March, Beans? I think it's March. So, Jenya, a knitter, definitely. Jenya and Nina, 100%. She's bringing the waffles. And Wylan, definitely. Wylan is definitely in there. Just, excuse me. No. In the box. But I'm just looking, Mommy. I'm just looking. Anyway, yes. So, yes, I need Jenya, Nina, and Wylan. Zoya would not knit. I'm sorry, she's far too busy. She looks down on knitting. She does. I know. She's just one of those people. Nope. But definitely the rest of them. Just sitting around in Ravka. Or maybe... Oh, I'm just so excited. Oh my God. So excited. Right. Yeah, so those are the three different kind of worlds that I was like, oh yeah, they definitely knit. Oh my God, I definitely want to get involved in the Burrow Knit Night. Yes, I do. Oh, I have this whole thing in my head where Andromeda, Bellatrix's sister, takes over as Potions Master and Slytherin head of house, and her and McGonagall are like best friends. Her, McGonagall, and Weasley are best friends. But like she's been through so much, and she loses like everyone in her life. So she's like, McGonagall's like, come live with me, help me, and she's like, okay, cool. She would be there too, my OC Andromeda. Excuse me, I have no water because Monsieur Haricot has decided I don't deserve to drink my own water. I had one more fantastic question, and it made me a little bit COVID sad. I forgot to write down who asked this question, but it was a good question. What's on your bucket list for holidays? You know, I think she asked like for my one bucket list holiday. I was like, I have too many. I have too many for one. So I'm going to give you a listicle. You ready for my listicle? So the first one that came through my head is caravanning through New Zealand, camper van through New Zealand. I meant to do it when I was down that side, and I just never got around to it. Just didn't have enough money to do it, really. So I definitely want to do that. I really want to hike the Annapurna Trail in Nepal. Really want to do that. I'm not fussed about base camp. I really want to do the Annapurna Trail. A friend of mine told me about it when I was in Exeter, and it just sounds incredible. I also want to do something but actually a lot of these are hikey now. I need to get good at hiking again. I really wanted to do the Cinque Terre in Italy. So it's like a little, you're hiking through five towns along the coastline in the Italian Riviera. Oh, that sounds amazing. And the food. I really want to go back and do the Camino de Santiago, but I want to do the Portuguese way, because I did the French way, Camino Frances, like 3 times, like in bits. So I really want to do the Portuguese way. I really want to go down to South America as well. I want to do I want to hike in Patagonia. I really want to do the Patagonian hike. There's a couple down there, and my friend has done it, and I have to ask him what he did and where he did it, because he really enjoyed it. And of course, actually my absolute number one holiday that I've always said I would go on, because my mother and father, when I was 3 months old, possibly 6 months old, left me. And they went on holiday probably because I was a very annoying child and they needed a bit of peace. I totally get it now. I understand. They went to Peru and they went to Cusco and they did the Incan trail to Machu Picchu, and I really want to do that. And I really want to see the Nazca lines as well. Oh, I desperately want to go to Peru, desperately. I know it's really, everybody wants to do it, but that's what I want to do. I really, really, really want to do all those. So where do I want to go? I want to go to New Zealand, Nepal, Italy, Portugal, I don't know if that's in Chile or in Argentina. Probably both, actually. The Patagonia is down there. And then Peru. Simples. For a luxury, we want to do like a luxury honeymoon. And we were looking at Cuba. I think I'd love to go to Cuba. Just the food and the culture down there sounds incredible. So that's it made me sad because I don't know when we're able to go again. Hopefully. I've been vaccinated now. I've got my 2 vaccines. I was a bit sick after the second one. I had the Pfizer BioNTech Comirnaty vaccine. I was just a bit sick for maybe 24 hours. It was partly expected side effects. So not side effects, but yeah, they were expected. It wasn't a reaction. It was expected. So, but I'm vaccinated now. So that vaccinate you now in a minute. Back in there, back in the box. So I hope you enjoyed sulky, annoying beans and cross grace. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for people for asking questions as well. I really enjoyed answering them. And yeah, I'll talk to you maybe next week, maybe the week after. Bye.